over the Joint Constitutional Review Committee report on amending Section 25 of the Constitution. The amendment is aimed at achieving land expropriation without compensation. AfriForum is seeking urgent interim relief from the court to, amongst other things, halt further debate on the committee report by the two houses of Parliament pending the outcome of the judicial review of the committee proceedings. Parliament argues that AfriForum's challenge to land reform is preemptive and its court application is a gagging order. It further argues that the lobby group's application is an abuse of process. Now, a group of former residents of District 6 are picketing outside the High Court in Cape Town, where their land claims court case will be heard. The District 6 Working Committee says claimants have been waiting for restitution for more than 20 years. Close to 3,000 land claims were lodged in the area in 1998. More than half of the claimants opted for financial compensation, while the rest wanted to return home. For more on the story, we now cross live to our reporter Nomawethu Solwandle, who's outside the court. Nomawethu, give us a sense of occasion. What's happening where you are?
Well, a very good morning to you, Desiree. I can confirm that we arrived here just after 7 this morning, and already quite a big group of people from District 6 had started picketing here outside the Western Cape High Court. You'll remember, Desiree, that this was a group of people that had taken the South African government to court to what they have called a very slow rate into dealing with the land restitution program. Now, Desiree, if I can just take you back a little bit, you'll remember that about 60,000 people were forcefully removed from the District 6 area under the 1950 Land Group Areas Act. So these are people that are saying they should either be returned to District 6 or they should be compensated. Now, if you talk to these people, Desiree, about what life was like in District 6 all those many years ago, it's a very emotional subject for them, because most of them were actually moved to far-flung areas out on the Cape Flats after being removed from District 6. They've gathered here today. The matter will be heard for the first time here at the Western Cape High Court. You'll remember that it started at the Land Claims Court in Gauteng. It has now been moved to the Western Cape High Court. I'm just going to speak to one of the organizers here, Shaheed Ajam. Shaheed, we've been following the District 6 story for many, many years. And for the first time now, the matter will be heard here at the Western Cape High Court. Just tell us more what this story is about.
Well, it's been 24 years into democracy. It has been more than 20 years into the restitution process. The people of District 6 have not been restituted by this government. The people of District 6 have been left down by this government. And we saw fit that the only way to challenge this government is by way of going to the courts, and let the courts give us justice, to let the courts restore the dignity of the people. And so this is where we find ourselves today, and hopefully we pray that the courts will indeed see it our way, because as you know, we have suffered under the legacy of colonialism and apartheid for many, many years. And we have this golden opportunity now in South Africa to create a catalyst and a role model for other urban restitution communities, especially the urban restitution communities who have been let down for so many years, to make this a model of success. And so this is where we are. Today we will get this justice that we so yearn for. Our people have been dehumanized, our people have been infantilized, our people have just been regarded as second-class citizens. I mean, we are 24 years into a democracy.
Now, Shaheed, I just want to interject there. You talk about restoring dignity to the people of District 6. Just tell us what life has been like for these people after they were forcefully removed from District 6.
When people were scattered by their thousands onto the Cape Flats, one can imagine the effects of the trauma, the pain, because families were fragmented. Families were dismembered. our sense of social, the social fabric was just not there anymore. And so this is where we are, where you see today the gangsterism, the drug taking, the prostitution. This is the legacy of apartheid. And we must reverse that legacy right now. If we want transformation in South Africa, then we have to look to District 6. We have this golden opportunity where people of all colors can come together and create a newly transformed South Africa. So we're not only doing this for the people of District 6. We are saying to this government, sit up and listen up. We are speaking to you right now. All that we want is to restore everything back to us which we lost. Our sense of economic empowerment, our sense of social cohesion, our sense of agency, our sense of security. Those are all the things which they took away from us. And most importantly of all, they stripped us of our dignity. And this is what they have to restore back to us.
Now, Shaheed, I know that there are claims that go as far back as 1998 of people wanting to return to District 6. A couple of months ago, we heard that this whole process will now be moved to provincial government because it was headed by national government before. Yes. How do you feel about this? Do you not feel that this is maybe going to put more delays on the process?
Well, in the first instance, restitution is the duty and obligation of national government, right? Let's not get away from that. They have this obligation because this is a national, sort of program. The flip side of the coin is that all three tiers of government must now get together and sit at the table with us. It is the duty and obligation of all three tiers of government to see that the restitution is properly implemented, especially now in District 6, because for too long this, the pot has been calling the kettle black, and for too long the city has shied away from its responsibility. If one has a look at the 42 hectares, for argument's sake, that they had a duty to bring in the basic services, they had a duty, to bring in lights and roads and all of that. They did not do that, so they should have worked together with provincial and national government, and that did not happen. But most importantly, we must not get away from the fact that it is national government's obligation to implement restitution of land properly in South Africa, and more particularly in District 6.
Just before I let you go, very last question for me, Shaheed. Are you feeling positive about this case? Do you feel that as people of District 6, your dignity will be restored?
Well, I'm feeling more than positive. I'm feeling very confident. We have a very able and qualified legal team in the form of Norton Rose Fulbright. We have got senior advocate, Jeff Butlender. We have got Ms. Jane Blomenstein, one of the other advocates. We've got Advocate Nakruddin, right? So we have got a very competent and experienced, legal team. And my lawyer is standing right here, Nikki van Riet of the law firm Norton Rose Fulbright.
But just in terms of what you're bringing before the court, do you think that you have a case that you can win as the people of District 6?
I'm sure my lawyer can answer that. As far as I know, our heads of argument are in. My founding affidavit is very clear, and we are very confident that we will get justice today. If not today or when the case ends, we will definitely get justice, not only for the people of District 6, but for all the marginalized and all the historically disadvantaged communities of South Africa.
Well, thank you very much for your time. That there was the chairperson of the District 6 Working Committee, Shaheed Ajam, talking to us about why they have gathered here at the Western Cape High Court. This is an issue of land restitution. People of District 6 that were forcefully removed out of the area many years ago. They were moved to areas such as the Cape Flats, as Shaheed said there, that things of gangsterism, prostitution and crime that they have been exposed to. And he feels that the courts today just need to restore their dignity. So for the first time today, that case will be heard here at the Western Cape High Court. Like I said earlier, it was before at the Land Claims Court in Gauteng. but it was later moved to the Western Cape. So it will be interesting to see what comes out of this case. I mean, we're a country that's talking about land issues. We're a country that's always talking about people being given their land back or else compensated. And that's exactly what the people of District 6 are saying, that can we please either be compensated or can we return back to District 6, because our lives were never the same again. And like Shaheed said, you know, this is about the restoration of dignity. So we'll be watching this case very closely throughout the day. But for now, it's back to you guys in Johannesburg.
Thanks, Nomawethu. Yet another page in the book of the land conversation in South Africa, and we'll continue to follow that story and that process as it unfolds this morning.